Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be Genesis 10. Let's get started now. Genesis 10 is a chapter that is commonly referred to as the Table of Nations. It lists the descendants of Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their respective descendants. This chapter is important in understanding the genealogy of humanity, but it also contains deeper meanings and symbolism that can be applied to our lives today. Verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. This verse provides an introduction to the genealogy of humanity, emphasizing that all people come from the same lineage and are connected. Verse 2. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras. This verse lists the sons of Japheth, who became the father of many nations. It is a reminder that diversity and multiculturalism are gifts from God. Verse 3. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. This verse lists the sons of Gomer, who were likely the ancestors of the ancient Celts and Germans. It is a reminder that our heritage and ancestry are important, but ultimately, we are all one people. Verse 4. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. This verse lists the sons of Javan, who became the father of the Greeks and other Mediterranean peoples. It is a reminder that cultural differences are to be celebrated and appreciated. Verse 5. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. This verse emphasizes that all nations have their own unique identities and cultures, but ultimately, we are all part of the same human family. Verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. This verse lists the sons of Ham, who became the father of many nations in Africa and the Middle East. It is a reminder that all people, regardless of their skin color or nationality, are equal in the eyes of God. Verse 7. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Rama, and Sabteka, and the sons of Rama, Sheba, and Dedan. This verse lists the descendants of Cush, who were likely the ancestors of the ancient Ethiopians and other African peoples. It is a reminder that God values diversity and that all people have a place in His plan. Verse 8. And Cush begot Nimrod, he began to be a mighty one in the earth. This verse introduces Nimrod, who is known for being a great hunter and a builder of cities. Some interpret this verse as a warning against pride and arrogance. Verse 9. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. This verse further emphasizes Nimrod's reputation as a great hunter and reminds us that all of our gifts and talents come from God. Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. This verse lists the cities that Nimrod built, including the famous Tower of Babel. Some interpret this verse as a warning against the dangers of arrogance and self-importance. Verse 11. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah. This verse introduces Ashur, who is the ancestor of the Assyrians. It is a reminder that even those who may be viewed as enemies or adversaries have their own place in God's plan. Verse 12. And Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. This verse describes the city of Rezin, which was located between Nineveh and Calah. It is a reminder that even the places that seem insignificant have their own unique value. Verse 13. And Mizraim begot Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim. This verse lists the descendants of Mizraim, who became the father of the Egyptians. It is a reminder that God uses all people, regardless of their heritage or background, to accomplish His purposes. Verse 14. And Pathrusim, and Casluim, out of whom came Philistim, and Caphtorim. This verse lists the other descendants of Mizraim, including the Philistines. It is a reminder that even those who may be considered our enemies or opponents have their own place in God's plan. Verse 15. And Canaan begot Sidon his firstborn, and Hate. This verse introduces Canaan, who is the ancestor of the Canaanites. It is a reminder that all people, regardless of their ancestry or heritage, are equal in God's eyes. Verse 16. And the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgasite. This verse lists the other descendants of Canaan. It is a reminder that all people are unique and have their own place in God's plan. Verse 17. And the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite. This verse lists even more descendants of Canaan. It is a reminder that every individual is important and valuable in God's eyes. Verse 18. And the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. This verse lists the final descendants of Canaan and emphasizes that they were spread throughout the land. It is a reminder that God's plan encompasses all people, regardless of where they come from or where they go. In conclusion, Genesis 10 is an important chapter in the Bible that highlights the genealogy of humanity and the diversity of nations and cultures. While the chapter may seem focused on the past, its message is timeless and relevant to our lives today. We can learn from the examples of the various people listed in Genesis 10 and apply the lessons to our own lives. We can appreciate and celebrate diversity, recognizing that all people have their own unique value and place in God's plan. We can also guard against pride and arrogance, remembering that all of our gifts and talents come from God. Ultimately, Genesis 10 teaches us that we are all connected, and that our differences should be celebrated rather than feared or rejected. Thank you for watching. Please share with us your favorite Bible verse below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.